Hello, Reporter Room investigators. My name is Jessica Della Davies. I'm an investigative journalist. My job is to investigate crimes, crime scenes, and potential suspects and share with you how to do the same thing. If you haven't subscribed to Reporter Room and joined our family, please do like, share, and leave a comment. And we're going to be talking about the Sebastian Rogers case today. Lots of interesting. So come on in, come on in. Join me. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things. Um, we're going to be doing, we're going to be covering a lot of information on Chris Proudfoot. There was a bone found at Chris Proudfoot's job site. The audio that's been going around, I enhanced the photos of the lights video, law enforcement's response to the lights video, the response for regarding the audio video that's been going around, and the fact that autistic people are being targeted in Tennessee. And we're going to talk about Tony Mathis. Does Seth deserve better? So I enhanced the photos that we on went over the video from that light video, like I promised you that I would on Father's Day, to see if we could make out what kind of vehicle that it was from the taillights. And we're going to go through those together. But I want to start off by just telling you guys, I want to CYA myself. Everything I'm sharing with you is my opinion, and opinions are not facts. So please don't send any negativity to anyone. Also, right after this video is done, we're going to do a Riley strain live stream because the toxicology results uh and we're going to go through those together too, so you guys can just come on in over with me to that video or that live stream right when this one is done. So does any of this new analysis of Chris and Katie Proudfoot, the light video, does this prove that somebody was walking out with a flashlight, or was that Sebastian out with a flashlight? So come on in, tell me where you're from. And also, don't forget, we're going to be doing a giveaway. I'm super excited. We're around 900 people away from hitting the 40,000 subscribers. And I'm really excited. I can't get there without your help. So please subscribe and help me out. You are awesome. And also know that I'm doing a giveaway. So when we click over from 399 39,999, sorry, my bad, to the 40,000 mark on whatever video we click over on that, I am able to click off who is subscribed and go through the comment section. That's all you have to do is subscribe and leave a comment on whichever video clicks over. So it's going to be one of the upcoming videos because we're only about 900 people away. So it could be today's video. It could be a video that we do during the Riley strain, but just all you have to do is subscribe and drop me a comment. And I have all the details posted in the comment section of our channel if you want to have all the terms and conditions of the giveaway. So anyway, I'm really excited about this, and thank you guys so much to everyone who has subscribed. So we're going to talk about the bone that was found at Chris Proudfoot's work site. I'm going to show you some pictures of what the work site looks like, and then we're also going to go through the enhanced photos of the light video in just a moment. So please stay with me. But let's talk about Chris and Katie Proudfoot. So as I shared with you on Father's Day on Sunday, Katie Proudfoot was the last person to see Sebastian before he disappeared. And PI Chloe, who was the PI who worked for Seth Rogers, tells us that Chris Proudfoot was at 5:15 a.m. on February the 26th. Now, this would be very easy for PI Chloe to verify. She would be able to contact his employer, and his employer would be able to know he's a crane operator. So I'm confident that if he was not operating the crane that day, he would have noticed. And when I show you the job site photos, you'll understand why. So I also mapped out the route from Hendersonville to Chris Proudfoot's job site. We're going to look at that in a few minutes. But let's talk about Katie for a second. So I told you during the Father's Day live stream that I thought we were looking at the wrong Proudfoot. I wanted to get your opinion on that. Are we looking at the Proudfoot? And again, everything I'm sharing with you is my opinion, and this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. So as far as that 3-hour phone call between Katie Proudfoot and Chris Proudfoot, well, now we're finding out that it's really a 2-hour and 20-minute phone call, according to the interview that they gave on March 3rd to the Duchess channel. So the fact that this time frame was expanded on the Nancy Grace interview from 9 p.m. until 12 a.m., giving an extra 40 minutes, I was thinking that that was there to help Chris Proudfoot. But now I'm wondering if that expansion is there to actually help Katie Proudfoot. What do you guys think? Are you watching closely? So let's go ahead and get started. Come on in. Tell me where you're from. And let's talk about, let me grab this to start with. I'm going to move myself out of the way. And I'm going to take this down for just a second, but I'm going to put it back up in a minute. I have so many packages to go through, you guys. Besides the video with the enhanced footage of the enhanced photographs, I also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 packages to go through. So we have a lot to get to today. So get your coffee, get comfortable, and let's get started. Okay. So this is Nick Barris, and he did speak with law enforcement about the light video and the audio video. Some of you may already know this, but I haven't covered it on my channel, so we're going to just briefly go over it in case people aren't aware of this. I'm not going to just assume that everybody's seen everything. But he says, quote, let's revisit an exclusive story of mine on the Sebastian Rogers case that continues to generate a good amount of buzz. The story dates back to March 14th, almost 3 weeks after Sebastian disappeared from his Hendersonville home. He says, I obtained a clip of exclusive security camera video footage that appears to show 2 lights moving after dark and around near the house. All I have is that clip, nothing more. And I show that in its entirety. So he goes on to just kind of tell us, well, what do we know and what do we not know about this whole thing? So he says that the video was being scrutinized by the authorities. It's in their case files. Okay, and he said, since this has happened, authorities say that the video is currently of no evidentiary value, although they don't rule out the possibility of that changing if new evidence surfaces. So that's important to know. He also asked what investigators who vetted the video believed to be the source of the lights, and they declined. They didn't want to say. I think that's interesting. Others close to the case claim that the lights were either floodlights or from a garbage truck. I'm no expert, but those look more like flashlight or cell phone lights to me, but who knows? I agree. I think the one is a flashlight and definitely not a garbage truck. And we're going to talk about more of that in a second, because I did enhance the photos. But he says, there are those who claim to see other images in the video. No. Okay, so you guys were asking me about that. So Nick Barris looked into it. No, there's no other images in the video besides he says there's 2 flashlights. I think there's 1, and then we have the car starting. Some say they have pulled telling audio evidence from the video. Nope, he's emphatic there. Nope. I told you also on the Father's Day live stream that the lights video that I have does not have any audio. So any audio that you are hearing is from the person who downloaded it or the person who recorded it, but it's not off that particular security cam footage does not have audio. The clip, he says that he has does not have audio from that night. If anything it's heard, it's likely from when the video was recorded off a monitor. In the absence of any new developments, there are those trying to make the video into something that it's not. Okay, so what does he believe? He says he believes that it shows individuals with small flashlights outside the house. Remember, Sebastian left with a flashlight, but that's only my opinion, and I can't prove it. And he says, the only opinion that really counts is from the investigators who work the case. And again, they say the videos are of no evidentiary value. We will see if that changes, because they give a little caveat of the not right now, right? So we'll see if that changes. And he says, if you want to help find Sebastian, it's 1-800-TBI-FIND. And there is a picture of Sebastian Rogers. Okay, so that's just a little bit of information on that. Let me refresh this. Okay. All right. So let me say hello to chat too. Come on in, you guys. We are going to, I have enhanced the footage on this. So we are going to go through that together. But we have a lot of stuff to dig into, quite a bit of new stuff. So I think that's interesting as well. Let me just click in here. Hold on. I'm just pulling something up. All right. Okay. So I just want to make sure I have everything. All right. So we're going to go to this. Make sure I'm looking at the same thing you are. Okay, so we're going to go down to where the security camera is, and we're going to talk about that along with the enhanced photos that I'm going to show you. Let me go ahead and I just want to welcome everybody. This is Njaz. She's one of our head mods, along with Sixth Sense Amelia. Welcome. Thank you so much to all our mods, subscribers, and channel members. And then this, hi, Deborah. Hi, Jill Elaine. Hi, Janine. Tell me where you're from. Come on in. Hi, Angie. Regina is here. Jane is here. Brother Mike is here. Oh, we're going to have such a good one. Linda is here. She says, hello. Have you heard anything about yeah, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to pull that up, and I have some photographs of the work site too that we're going to look at together. We're going to do that in just a second. Joni's here. Hi, welcome from North Carolina. Regina's from Florida. Come on in, guys. Tell me where you're from if you feel comfortable doing that, or at least you can give a general. And Joe says, great to see you guys. Jess Judy is here from Browns Mill, New Jersey. Larry is here. Patty Ponytail is here. And Linda's here. Hi, Missy. Hello from hot and humid Texas. Oh boy. Audrey is here. She said it wasn't Sebastian's flashlight. She thinks it was Katie bringing him to a waiting car with somebody maybe waiting to take him away. Could be. I don't know. I don't know. Colette, thank you so much. I'm glad you're here, and I really appreciate your saying that. That means a lot. Welcome, Colette. Robin is here. Yeah, we do have great mods, Regina. You're right. And so thank you. If you see people with wrenches, those are our mods. Hi, Pepper. If you see people with check marks, those are our channel members. If you would like to be a channel member, just hit the join button. It should be next to your subscribe button. Linda's here. Yeah, we're going to go through that. We're going to go dig into that. Okay. Welcome. Hi, Sonia. There's Amelia. This is our other head mod, Sixth Sense Amelia. Hi, Mike, and AJ's here. We're going to do the bones found next. Okay, we're going to do that next. So yeah, we are going to talk about that, and yes, everybody's telling me. Yes, I know. I'm aware. I have it pulled up. We're going to do it. And after this, we're going to talk about the Riley Strain case, you guys. We're going to talk about the Riley Strain case. I'm going to do that in a separate video. So I'm going to go live on that after this is over if you just want to follow me over. So Robin thinks she's seen 2 flashlights. Yeah, please give me a thumbs up. Help me out with the YouTube algorithm. Donna is here. Patty Cakes is here. We have a lot of good people here in the chat. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm really thankful that all of you guys are here with me today. Jill Elaine says, please hit the like button. Yeah, help me out with the YouTube algorithm. Karen said, oh, well, I just read confirmation that they did find remains. So we're going to talk about that. And we're going to do enhanced photos. We have a lot of stuff to dig into. A lot of new information was broke today. Hey, Steph, welcome. Okay, so sending lots of love from Ohio, and Abby's here. All right, well, come on in, guys. Glad that Grunge Truck is here. All right. So Justice for All is here. Not hi, Tony, not Justin. Glad you're here, Tony. 1979 ACR is here. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, there's bones found. So we're going to talk about that. Let me go to that next because you guys seem like you're really interested in that, so we'll do that one next. But I want to do the enhanced photos. So I'm going to go a little bit out of order of what I was originally planning to do. Um so anyway, let me grab that. Okay. So can you guys see this okay? Let me make sure I'm looking at the same thing that you guys are. Yes. Okay. So this is what the job site looks like. And but my sourcing on this is Yahoo. And this is what the job site looks like. So you can kind of see what the crane looks like here. And so a bone was found at a construction site near the Jude Children's Research Hospital. It's being examined to determine whether or not it's human. This is according to the Memphis police. They told this to WREG. Okay, let me grab a sip of water. At around 7 a.m. Tuesday, the officers responded to a suspicious call at Lane Avenue at St. Jude's Place, and a bone was found, but it's undetermined if it's human or not. And I think this could be significant, but I also think it might not be significant, which is why I wasn't going to lead with this, but I will, as you guys are asking me about it. So the medical examiner was called in to advise. Police say it's not being investigated as a H, so an H. Reports say that the location was being used as a burial site. So this is a former cemetery. So it could just be, I don't know for sure, but it could just be that it's something that just was supposed to get moved when they started working on the site, and something that it wasn't. But it's located near the new Winchester Burying Ground. This is the first cemetery that was established in 1829. But you can see the job site here. And I think this is really helpful too. You can see the cranes and the job site. And this is why I do believe that PI Chloe, when she confirmed that Chris Proudfoot was at work at 5:15, I believe her, because there's just a couple of cranes, and there's only 3 there on the job site. And so I think they would notice that if he wasn't at work, being that he is a crane operator. So I hope that answers your questions on that. Let me go ahead and grab this. So this is what the job site looks like. You can just see that there is it is gated off. And I would assume that there would be, a way that they're clocking in and clocking out. But for sure, with the cranes, and I don't know if he operates one of these over here or if it's one of these 3. I think that they would know if he was or was not there that day. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. So let's continue on, because we have a lot of stuff to cover, and I am going to go through the enhanced photographs I did enhance those photos. So we are going to go through that. Okay, so let me grab this. All right, and I'm closing that out. Okay, so hold on one second. And I also so we'll do that next, and then let me just look at what all I have to go through. So we're going to be I also mapped out the route from Hendersonville to St. Jude's, because there's been some questions about how long it actually would take. And we're going to go through the enhanced photos that I did. Neighbor Bobby said that the image is purportedly of okay. So neighbor Bobby, I want to just clarify, because people are saying, where did the images come from? What is the provenance of the lights video? So neighbor Bobby told us that the images that are purportedly of Sebastian taking out the trash, that's just a silhouette, which is why Seth said he couldn't say for certain that it was Sebastian. And even more importantly, neighbor Bobby tells us that there was an unidentified car sitting on her street facing the entrance somewhere around 3:30 a.m. or so on February the 26th. She goes on to say that the two separate flashlights that were seen walking through the yards, and she points out that the trash truck would not be going through people's yards. And that's why I do want to show you what she's talking about here. Let me grab this instead. Let me take this down for 1 second. I'll add it back in a second, but let me just show you. This is why I pulled this up. Okay, so if you guys remember the lights video, the car was parked right in here, right? And the flashlights appear to come from this area. And that's why I just don't see how that would be a garbage truck. There's nothing over there. There's no road where the flashlight appears to come from Stafford, right? And it appears to be coming toward where that car was sitting, right there. So the one flashlight, I believe, is stationary, and I think that it does go with this house, but the other one is actually moving. It's actually a moving light, and Nick Barris also believes that it's a flashlight. I believe that there is at least one flashlight that's moving. The other one may or may not be part of the stationary house. So I hope that helps. And then the security camera is coming from here. And that's the security camera there with the footage coming out. And then we had the car that was parked in this area. Okay, it was parked in this area. So that's what we're going to look at next. So I did want to just grab that so you guys could see that. And we're going to switch to this one. All right. Okay, so this is the map, and we're going to dig into that in just a second. So hopefully I've answered some of your guys' questions on this. Let me go ahead and check in and see where we're at. Here's our other head mod, 6 Cents Amelia, and this is our other head mod. So hey, thank you to all of our mods, or all the mods with wrenches, to all of our channel members, and to all of our subscribers. Okay, so Donna Groven says, why would it be of no evidentiary value? Well, they said right now. They put a caveat on there. They didn't say never. They just said right now. So that's a great question. Why would it be of no evidentiary value? The timestamp stuck. How unfortunate, because the car comes up and turns on its lights and flashlights go to it and then back to the house. Right, exactly. Exactly. And Novik says, did they ever say who the remains of the 16-year-old? Yes, they didn't say, but it's not Sebastian. Yeah, and we're going to do Riley Strain after this because we have new information in that. Angie thinks that maybe he didn't clock in. Well, PI Chloe said that he did clock in. So I think that he did. But let me know if you guys feel like it's something else. Linda said, could the car be DoorDash, Uber Eats? Yeah, it could be. And they may know who the car is, and they may be, you know what, this doesn't have any evidentiary value. But they could also just be saying that because they don't know what happened to Sebastian yet, right? Veronica says, I was just wondering how she confirmed it. We don't know. But I do trust that she would have confirmed it. I would think that it would be really easy, with being that there are cranes and he was, there at 5:15. They would know, because those cranes also have like a receptor when you sit down in them. And then I would assume that you would have some kind of a key fob so that you would know who's operating what crane and when. So I think that they do know how. So I hope that I do think that they were able to verify that Chris was there. Deborah said, not unless they're trying to debunk the footage. Yeah. Okay. So this is the map. Let me just zoom in on this a little bit. Okay. So as we went through the other day, we know that from Chris Proudfoot and his conversation with narco divers that the dogs did hit in there. So it didn't hit at the front door, but did hit here. And so I don't know if this car, which was sitting right here, let me put this in a little tighter. If the car that was sitting right here, if it was just him trying to get to that vehicle with his flashlight, right? And if the dogs then followed the car scent down Kellen, because we know that one of the dogs jumped into the retention pond. Now, it could be that something that belonged to Sebastian was placed in the retention pond, although I don't think anything's been found. They could just have, being that there were 18 search dogs according to Chris Proudfoot, and only one jumped into the water. It just could have been the dog could have just been hot. I don't know, but so that's where the car is. The car was parked right here. And then the flashlight video, and this is why I don't think it's a garbage truck, is because the flashlight video, which has the car here, right? This is the house. Make sure I'm like looking at the same thing you are. Yeah. Okay. So this is the house here, right? And it has the broad light here. And then and it's got the camera with the broad angle view coming off this house. So it picked up that car where we have the tail lights and then the headlights turning on. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can look at Sunday, which is Father's Day's footage. And then we have the lights coming through here. So there's this drainage ditch that runs right here. There's a drainage ditch right here. But there's no way that this is a trash truck in the lights, just based on what's behind it. There's not even a road there. There's no road. There's no road. So I don't see how the lights, which are coming through here, would be related to the trash truck. I'm just not seeing it. If you guys see something different, let me know. But it's a cul-de-sac there. There's no road going this way, right? So I think that I think there is at least one flashlight that I showed you on Sunday that is moving in that direction. All right, so let me go back to. All right, so let me go back to this. Okay. All right, so I did enhance the photos of the light because you guys were asking me about the tail light, and we're going to go through that next. Let me just click through it. Okay. So I did find out there is confirmation now from the Caleb Harris family that Tony Mathis was no longer representing the Caleb Harris family. Jennifer Coffindaffer, who's a former FBI agent, reached out. She confirmed that she did speak with Caleb Harris's father. So I don't know, what happened there, and I haven't heard anything if Tony is still working with Seth Rogers on this. I think Seth Rogers did just fine without Tony. But let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section below. But let's go through the video of these enhanced photos, and then I do want to check in with that. So let me back this up a little bit. Okay. So I've got the arrow pointing here to where, if you look this right here, let me just forward over for a second, just for those of you that don't know what we're looking at. Okay, so this is from the security footage. This is the tail lights here. This is the vehicle in the center. And you guys probably cannot see what I'm pointing at, right? Because okay, so the tail lights are on your right hand center. And then you'll see like a long line, that's the headlights. And then in the middle where there's a black spot, that is the vehicle. Okay. So let me see. Hang on one second. Let me get a better image of it for you. Let me grab this. hold on. I'm going to just, for those of you that don't, like, weren't here Sunday, I don't want you guys to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm lost. So let me just pull this up. Okay. All right. Let me just make sure I'm sharing what I think I'm sharing with you guys. Okay. Let me take mine down. Present this instead. So I just want to show you what we're talking about. Oh, sorry. I don't know why I'm nervous today. Okay, so this is going to be courtesy of Bed Crime Stories. I'm not going to play her video, but I just want to show you what we're talking about here. And what I hope is just by showing this that you can know what I'm looking at when we're looking at the enhanced video. Okay, so these are, let me see. Mm, Okay, so this is the flashlight here that I believe is the flashlight. Make sure I'm looking at the same thing you guys are. So can you guys see my arrows when I'm pointing on this video? This is the flashlight. And then the car is here. And then the headlights are here and the taillights are here. And let me just back this up a little bit more. So we have vehicle 1, 2, vehicle 3, and 4. And then we have the one flashlight that was moving. This one, I believe, is stationary and part of the house. And then in here is where the car is. And you can see here on this that this is the body of the car. Okay. These are the taillights and these are the headlights. I don't want to play her video because um, I I don't want to take any views away from her. So let me go ahead and I also made my own. Okay, so I just wanted to show you what I was pointing at. Okay, so now if you're looking at the enhanced footage, you can see now vehicle number 4, right, which is the truck, which is on the center of your screen. And then just to the right of it are the taillights, and the headlights are shimmering off into a straight line. So the taillights are going to be right here, and I have an arrow pointing to them right there. That's the tail lights. Okay. And then the body of the car is the black spot in the middle. And then the straight line of light above where the truck is in the middle, the straight line of light, that is the headlights. Okay. So these are the enhanced. Oh, Robin, thank you so much for the super chat, Robin. Thank you. She says Sebastian did not walk out of the house. She does not believe that he walked out of the house. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on that. And thank you so much for the super sticker. Let me do, all right, so let's go ahead and go through this. I did work on these photos quite a bit. I also worked on the flashlight photos. On the flashlight, I enhanced every which way. I could not get anything more than just that pinpoint of light that I showed you on Sunday's video. But let's go through this one. I put a bunch of different filters on it and zoomed in on it. Each time you see the arrow pointing, that's a different filter. Okay. So we're trying to see what the taillights are, if we can tell what kind of car it is. So that's the first filter I put on it. This is the second filter. So I think this one did show it up a little bit better. You can see there's like the bumper with the 2 little lights. It gets a little bit better, but I was not able to make out definitively, in my opinion, what kind of vehicle it was. I changed the filter again, and the arrow is pointing to the taillights. Okay, that's what we're trying to look at, is those taillights. Right there. Right there. Right there. So those are the taillights. Okay. And I changed the filter and enhanced a little bit more. You can tell there's a different filter. Now this one enhanced it a little bit more. And to me on this one, you can see where I was able to get, there's actually, it looks like two taillights on the right side of your screen. And then on the left side, I still only see one. I'm going to change the filter again. There's another filter. And I felt like this one was one of the better ones. Again, I can see that there's two tail lights, and there's the dark spot in the middle, and the headlight, which is just, the headlights are just this flash of light that goes on. And then the other one, still, I could only see one tail light. And I tried every which way to work on these for you guys. There's another filter. And this one was worse. So I actually lost one of the two lights, which I had here. I just want you guys to know the process that I went through trying to get this for you guys. And then, okay. So for those of you that were looking at the lights, these are the two lights here in your lower right screen that have the yellow circle. Those are the two lights that are purporting to be the flashlights. And I believe that the one on the lower right hand side that's circled in the yellow is actually part of this house. Let me go to that for a second, and we'll come back to this. Not done with this, but I just want to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, let me grab this one. Okay, there it goes. It's being a little glitchy today. Okay, so let's go here. So I think that, make sure I'm looking at the same thing you guys are. Yeah, okay. So neighbor Bobby did vouch for the provenance on this. So I think that, let me just show it on this because I don't want to zoom in on somebody's house. Okay, so this is where the camera is, right here. This is where the car is. Okay, and then there's just no way that that's a trash truck right in here. So the little, I think the one stationary light is part of this house. I think the light that I showed you on the bottom right, we'll go back to that in a second. But the other one is definitely moving. And I do believe that's a flashlight. Nick Barris believes the same thing. Okay, so let's go back to the video for a second. All right, so if you look right here in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see the two lights. So the one that's on the bottom, on your very, very bottom right-hand corner, that's circled in yellow, that is attached to the house. And the one just above that, that one is the one that's moving. And then you can see the vehicles are numbered here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then this is where the car is, right here. And then the vehicles are numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4. I also mapped out the distance that it would take to go from Chris Proudfoot's house to the, because there's been some questions about that. Somebody was saying that they thought you could get there faster. So I checked on that for you guys as well. Let me check in with chat though, because this is social media. I do want to be social, and we're not by any means done, but I do want to welcome our newest VIP member, Autism GMA ×3. Welcome. And I want to thank our producers, George Brown, Njaz, Angry Mons, Not So Saintly, Debbie Joe, and Jane J. And also thank our channel members, because without you guys, I would not be able to do these videos. So thank you so much for your support and your kindness. I really appreciate it. If you would like to become a channel member, we are going to do a live stream after the Riley Strain today. That's a members only live stream. So we're doing this live stream, and then we're going to do Riley Strain updates, and then we're going to do a channel members only live stream after that. And thank you also so much for all your super stickers, and this is from the last thing, and gifted channel memberships. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's go back to this for a second. So I hope the enhanced images, I don't know if, so this is why I don't feel comfortable with the enhanced images on the taillight saying definitively that this car or this sport utility vehicle belongs to so and so, because even with all of the different filters and enhancing that I was able to do, I wasn't able to do that. And then with the audio, I also looked into that for you guys, and Nick Bears checked in with law enforcement. And the audio video, I don't know, it's not related to the videos that we've gone through together. They don't have any audio on them. And that's what I was trying to tell you guys on Sunday, that those videos didn't have any audio with them, that any audio that was on them came from downloading the videos themselves. It didn't come from that. So I know people were saying they could hear voices and all of that, but that is not from any of the videos. Now, these videos that I showed you on Sunday and the ones that I got the taillight images off of, these videos are, we do know that those are from the neighbor, because neighbor Bobby has told us that. We know that they're not of a trash truck because neighbor Bobby said the car backed up onto Kellen and left. So she said you don't see the trash truck until around 2.5 hours later, as the sun is beginning to come up. This is from neighbor Bobby, not from me. So you don't see the trash truck until 2.5 hours after this video, when the sun is about to come up. So these lights are not the trash truck, according to neighbor Bobby. Neighbor Bobby goes on to say that the neighbor that she talked to could see the trash truck on her camera. She also caught all of the law enforcement showing up to Katie and Chris Proudfoot's house on her video camera. After they didn't call 911, but Chris Proudfoot called the sheriff's office, which I think is a red flag there, but I could be wrong. She also has all the footage of that as well. We just don't have that yet. And neighbor Bobby also told us that the neighbor captured this footage and is adamant that there are two different circumstances, two different footages, and so she is baffled as to why police are claiming that this is a trash truck, because neighbor Bobby point blank asked her neighbor about this, and the neighbor said she didn't know why law enforcement was saying this. Neighbor Bobby goes on to say, quote, that you can see that these are two different circumstances in two different time frames. We are going to, so anyway, I feel like that's pretty adamant. So that is the provenance. So people were asking, where did these videos originate from? And um it's from neighbor Bobby. Okay. So I hope that that answers that question. Let me check in with chat, and then let me put this back up. If Let's check in and see where we're at. Boop. Looks like I have a new channel member. Let me see who that is. It's Arlene. Hey, Arlene. So glad to see that you are a channel member. You don't have any audio of me talking? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Just tell me yes or no. Yes. Okay. Yeah, we have audio. You might want to turn your sound up if you're having trouble with your audio. It might be on your end. Yes. Yes. Okay. So everybody can hear me. Okay. So no problem with the audio. Thank you. Okay. So that, I don't know. Somebody just needs to turn their volume up. Okay. Good. Because I've been trying to check back in to make sure. All right. Make sure I'm like not, that I am showing you what I'm talking about, that I'm not off on some tangent and you guys aren't there. All right. So where, Summer, you're going to need to turn up your audio. Okay. So Susan said another creator overlaid an Infinity SUV comparable to what the Bauer socks. I saw that too, and but I just don't feel comfortable going that far, because this is what I have. This is enhanced, you guys. This is the best enhanced one right there. of all of the, and I spent hours on this yesterday trying to see if I could see the vehicle itself. I also went through the flashlight trying to see if I could see a figure or figures with the flashlight. Because you guys were telling me, are there figures? And I couldn't make out any kind of figures with the flashlight. I could see the light moving. So I do believe that was there. And this is the best I can come up with as far as the tail light. And you can see, let me just put the arrow to what we're talking about. I put these arrows in because I know there, right there. Okay. So you can see there's the best I was able to make out is that there's a bumper with 2 lights on the right side and a bumper with 1 light on the left side. And then the dark spot in front of that, or just toward the center a little bit, that would be the vehicle. And then the one straight line that you see dashing up in your screen. So this light, those are the headlights. That's how they were picked up on the camera. So I do think there was somebody there at the house on Stafford Court. I do think, and let me just go back to this. I do believe there was somebody at the house at Stafford Court. Let me take this down for a second and let's look at the map together. Okay. So I do think that there was somebody at this. I do think there was somebody sitting here. Now, some people have said, well, maybe it's related to the cars in the driveway, but they're way over here on the other side of the retention ditch. They're not near where this car was sitting. This car was sitting right here. Make sure I'm looking at the same thing you guys are. Yep. Okay. So the car was sitting right here, and the lights are coming right in here. The one light I think is related to the house. I do think, but the other flashlight is just coming through here, and the car is sitting right here because the camera, remember, is here. So it's picking up with a wide angle this way and this way. So the lights are coming through here. That's why I do not think it's a trash truck, because where would the trash truck be? There's nothing but houses there. There's no road going this way where this could be a trash truck. So I don't know why law enforcement is saying it's a trash truck. I don't know why. But I do. Then we heard that the car, this is according to neighbor Bobby, then backs up like this and then proceeds down Kellen. So, and this is coincidentally where Chris Proudfoot also says that the dogs hit on a scent right in this area, right? And this is where we see that flashlight. So was that Sebastian? Because we know from Katie Proudfoot that he left the house with a keychain on a light, right? And was there a car waiting for him? Was there somebody that was waiting to meet him? And did the dogs then follow the scent of the car down Kellen? And then ended up jumping into the retention pond, which was over in this area. And that's the retention pond that they drained. So were they just following the car? Because they are strong enough with their scents to be able to do stuff like that. But I definitely don't think that was a trash truck. And I just wanted to show you why I thought that. So let me put this back up. Okay. So those taillights, I know there's been another content creator that said that, but I enhanced this every which way I could. And these are the best of the images that I enhanced. And this is the most that I could discover is this one. And I don't think I can say definitively that this vehicle belongs to this particular model, which belongs to someone else. That's just me, let me know if you guys feel differently about it. That's okay. But it's okay to disagree. We don't all have to say the same thing. I don't want to mislead you guys. I think you guys deserve credible information. And I'm not saying somebody else is misleading you. I'm just telling you that I enhanced this photo every which way I could. And this was one of the better images that I got off of it. But I don't think just the bumper with the two tail lights and then the one light on the other side is enough to say it's this model. I understand you could slide a car in there, but I don't think you can say for sure that that's that model of the footage. So these are the two lights. I think there's been like some confusion. So this is where the car was sitting, where the red circle is. And so that's why I know some people have said they thought it was maybe the cars from the house, right? Let me show you this. Let me pull this up. I'm going to take this down, grab this instead. Okay. So the reason I don't think it's the car related to this house. I'm just going around here. Okay. Let's try this one more time. Okay. So the reason I don't think that it's I don't know why it keeps taking me to the wrong house, even though I'm clicking in repeatedly that this is the one I want. Maybe it's because of where I'm clicking in. I think that's what it is. All right. Learning curve here. Okay. So this is where we had the video from, but you can see how far off the road these cars are parked. Okay. They are parked in the driveway up here, but the car that we saw is clearly in this area, not over here. So I don't think it goes with the house. Now it's possible that maybe somebody. Okay. So I don't think that these cars that are in your top right hand that I just showed you on the map is related to the car that was sitting here, that where the red circle is. So we have vehicle 1, 2, 3, and 4. We can see the yellow lines. That's the camera angle. And then you can see the cars from the neighbor that somebody said, well, maybe the car that we saw the headlights come on is the neighbor's car. And it could have just been an Uber driver, right? But the reason I don't think it belongs to the neighbors is look where their cars are parked. They're not parked anywhere close to where we picked up that footage of this vehicle. But the taillights, which is where the arrow is pointing, right there, that's the taillights of the vehicle. That's not anywhere close to where the house is. So if you look at where the red circle is, that's where the vehicle was sitting. So that's my thought on that. I'm curious if you guys feel differently. Hey, Teresa, I'm glad you're here. Hi, Marmy. Patty Cake says, and this is why Sebastian disappeared at nighttime. It was dark. Yeah. Really dark. And there was there's no overhead lights in this community. Maybe they're going to put them in later. I'm not really sure. I'm glad you're back. Where Summer says, personally, I never heard a word, couldn't figure out how anyone was hearing anything at all on that mess. Well, yeah, and it would be so easy. I don't know where that all came from. And if you know, don't tell me, because I don't want to like disparage another content creator. Because I don't know, but I just got asked about it so much on Sunday's video. And I guess Nick Barris got asked about it a lot too, that I was like, well, is there audio? But I'm like, I know these videos don't have audio. And I had all 3 of the videos and none of them had audio on them. So I wasn't sure but law enforcement is, and Nick Barris is confirming that the video does not have audio, and I will confirm the same thing. So welcome to everybody who's joining us. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed to Reporter Room, please do. We are doing a giveaway, and I have a video up about that with the description in the description, and it's also on the community page, where you can read all about the giveaway that we're doing when we hit 40,000 subscribers. Pam said, I've always thought Chris and Katie arranged for extended family or the reservation, or keeping him safe and away from Seth. Chris and Katie, all immediate family. And Jill Elaine hopes that you're right, Pam. Jane thinks that's interesting. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Regina said it's a red flag. And Weird Summer says they are not Native Americans. Yeah, they're not. I think the Proudfoot name is also a Scottish name. That's my understanding. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. Patty Cake said, yeah, Katie waited until it was getting light. Victoria said, I heard Bobby is not trustworthy. Well, I think I haven't seen anything that tells me she's not trustworthy. I mean, all she's doing is telling us her version of what happened. Um, I think it's gonna, as I shared with you, when she first came out and spoke about it, as I shared with you, I think that, she's giving her version. And remember, she's telling us what someone else told her in some of the cases, not all of it. But some of it was coming, secondhand. And so I told you about the game of telephone. So I think, but it doesn't mean she's not trustworthy. So I don't want to say that. Susan said, yes, she's referring to the videos. Wasn't it Bobby that said that the neighbor is her best friend? I don't know if they're best friends, but I know they're neighbors and they are friends. Where's Summer says, because law enforcement is hiding what they know, I believe it's corruption in that law enforcement force. Just my opinion. I don't know if it's that. Remember, law enforcement can legally lie to us. Now, I think Nick Barris does have a really good, connection with law enforcement. He's a local journalist, so they trust him. They're gonna, so I don't think that they're hiding it from us. I think what they're doing is protecting the integrity of their investigation. Thanks, Linda. Pam said, I think Seth and Katie both loved him, but Katie couldn't keep him because of Chris, and she didn't want Seth to have him. I'm wondering if just this is just a theory, but I'm wondering if she did have to make a choice, like what Pam is saying. And and I also want to say a thank you, and I apologize to Sharon Marlowe. I pulled up her comment, and I was talking about somebody else who was adding in the chat to somebody else, and it looked like I was talking to Sharon. And Sharon, if you hear this, I just wanted to tell you I'm sorry. I wasn't talking to you directly, but I'm sure it felt like that because I had your comment pulled up at the time. So for that, I apologize, and I certainly don't want you to feel like you can't comment or be part of the chat. We do want you here. So I'm wondering if there was something related to the CPS cases, because Chris Profit told us there was one. Seth alluded to there being multiple reports. Now, maybe there's multiple reports related to the same case, but I don't know. And then neighbor Bobby also said that teachers, plural, not singular, teachers had filed CPS reports. So more than one teacher. So that kind of lines up with what Seth has told us. And I'm wondering if this is why Seth, we were all wondering why he was so angry a couple of weeks ago. And I think this would explain why. Why he felt so angry with Katie. A lot of people were wondering, was he not over Katie or something like that? I don't know about that, but I do think that he's probably just feeling angry at just, the fact that there was these CPS cases. We know that he had them and he wasn't allowed, he can't legally share them. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? If you think that's what made him, so upset. Donna says, does the video camera pick up the flashlight getting to the truck? It picks up the flashlight, and you can see it. I have it circled here in this camera. Let me see. Let me see if I can get to the flashlight here. Okay. Let me share this. Okay, so credit here to Crime Stories. Let me take this down. Let me pull this up. I wish this was like a little bit smoother. But let me just, okay, so this is, I'm not going to play her video, but I just want to show you where the lights are at. Woo. Okay, so if you're looking at this, you can see there's two lights here, and these are the two lights that I have circled on my video. Now this one is moving. Okay, this one is moving. This one is stationary, and I think that this one goes with the house. Let me back this up. I think the other one goes with this house right here. So I think that the one in the lower screen, let me go back to this one. So I think that this light, which is purportedly, Nick Bears thought this was a flashlight. This is, I think, actually stationary to the house. And I think that this is the one that is moving. So I think we have, this also could be, though, somebody waiting. If we look at the map, let's go back. If we look at the map, and remember the car's like right in here, right? So I thought maybe the one was stationary with this house, but it could also have been somebody just waiting over here. But the other one's definitely moving. So this is the vehicles 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then the one that I'm showing you where the car starts up is right there. And you can see those are the tail lights and the headlights. All right, so let me go to this and back to your comments. Let me grab this back up. Okay. So could you guys see that okay? Summer can hear. Okay, good. Oh, I didn't know what you said then. Then I misunderstood. I thought maybe you had your volume turned down, because I've done that before too. And I thought I can't hear the video. And then I realized, oh, I turned the volume down or I muted it. Or sometimes you accidentally can hit a mute button too. Times and have consequences says, I'm confused on this one. I see the car parked across the street from the Proudfoots. No, it's not across the street from the Proudfoots. This is a different house. And the car is parked. You see where the red circle is? That's where the car was parked. And then you see where the yellow circle is? Those are the two lights that we believe, well, at least one of those lights, maybe both, are flashlights. Arlene said there's an audio out. Yeah, I think I addressed that already. The audio, according to Nick Barris, is nonsense. It's nonsense. And Jez says, welcome to everybody coming in and being with us. And please don't put all caps in the chat. Thank you so much. Susan says, agreed, not enough to say it's an infinity. Right. That's why I wanted to just enhance it for you guys and just show you the process that I went through on the enhancing. Each time you see the arrow flash, one, I'm pointing to where the taillights are, but that's also a change in the image. And I'll just play it through for you. I don't have any audio on this. I just, so that's the first one. And you can see the taillights, and you're going to see the arrow again. Okay, that's the taillights that I'm trying to enhance. And some of it just made it worse. Some of it made it better. Okay, I enhanced again with a different filter. So I don't feel comfortable saying that this is a specific type of car, because I enhanced it. There's another filter, and you can see that's probably one of the better enhancements that I was able to get, where you can see that it does have the tail light and the other lights, whereas the other ones just seems like it made the image worse. But I just think it's good to see the process that I went through so that you can see that I did really work on these images for you guys. There's another one. Again, I don't feel like there's enough there for me to say, yes, this is this kind of car. Mike thinks it's an SUV with long LED long taillight, in my opinion. Could be. It could be. I just don't know if I could say like what model it is and then specifically whose car it is. I do believe that with the spacing between the two lights on the right, that it may be an SUV, but I can't. It could also be a minivan. I can't say with 100%. Where Summer says, I was talking about the audio that was being heard from the camera. There is, oh, okay, thanks. Thank you. I thought maybe you just sat on the remote. I didn't know, and I thought, well, maybe I turned off my own audio, because that can happen too. Anyway, I'm glad we got that sorted out. Okay, thanks for that. But these are the different. Each time you see the arrow flash, that's a different filter and a different enhancement that I tried to do on the images. And this one just made it worse. You can see now it just got worse. I was also trying to see if I could tell see the vehicle at all. And then I did the same thing with the flashlight video. I tried to see if I could make out a figure, because you guys were asking me about figures. And with the flashlight, was there one person? I couldn't, all I could see is the light. And I tried a whole bunch of other enhancements on that. But Janine does agree that someone was there. Yeah, I think somebody was sitting outside the house where you see this red circle at the top of your screen. I think somebody was sitting outside the house. Now, were they waiting for Sebastian? I think it's or somebody with Sebastian with the flashlight. That's the question we don't have the answer to. But I know this. I do know this. Those are not trash trucks. Those are not trash trucks. There's no way that those are trash trucks. This is where the car was sitting, right in here, because the camera's picking up from this house going like this, right? So the car's like in here, and we've got the lights moving here. There's no way that's a trash truck, because look, there's no road. Where's the trash truck coming from? There's no road. And also we have neighbor Bobby also, backing that up, saying that it's not it wasn't the trash truck, because the trash truck came 2.5 hours after this video was taken. So I hope that we could put that to bed. And I hope that answers, I hope I've answered your questions on that. And I do want to bring you credible information. So as for the audio that you guys were asking me about, there is these videos do not have any audio on them. So I don't know what people are listening to. I really don't. I also took the time, because I had people asking me about the drive from Hendersonville down to Memphis. So I did that, and some people were saying that there's a shorter route. There isn't. I tried different routes. There's not a shorter route that knocks a whole hour off the time. It is 3 hours and 34 minutes at the time that I was doing the search, which was earlier. And maybe it's faster, a little bit faster in the morning, but I don't think it's that much faster. And then I did it straight to where Chris's job site is. And again, the time is similar, 3 hours and 28 minutes, which is similar to what Chris told us door to door on that. So I hope I've answered your questions on that.
Like to say to.
Okay, let me put up. Because I do want to give you guys good information. Let me put our. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and check in with chat. And don't forget, after this, we're going to go right over and we're going to do Riley Strain next, because I have updates in the Riley Strain. And then after Riley Strain, we're going to do a members only video. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, everyone who's here. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing to the Reporter Room channel. Pancake says, this was right after the Ruckus video as far as timing goes. Right. And I looked at the video to try to see the Ruckus video, and Nick Barris also. And I, asked about this with law enforcement. Remember, they've enhanced everything that I did to try to enhance these videos. Law enforcement did the same thing. They also went in and tried to enhance these videos. And they're saying that there's no figures in the videos. Now, the flashlight, it's just, I was trying to also see that one to see if, is there a figure on that one? And I just couldn't enhance it. Now, they have more advanced equipment, so they might be able to make out a figure, but I don't know. They certainly don't have to tell us. They have a legal right to protect their thing. So I'm not saying anything about the ruckus video, except that Nick Bears has said that that law enforcement has said no to that. But law enforcement also said that it was trash trucks, and I don't think it was. So make of that what you will, because I don't think that's a trash truck, and I showed you why I just don't think it is. Norma, hey, says Bobby said one neighbor saw Katie running around outside the house as she was leaving and asked her if she was okay. Katie told her she was looking for Sebastian. Yeah, so Katie we originally didn't think that Katie had looked outside the house. I don't think she knocked on any neighbors' doors, but she did look at the crawl space underneath the house, and she was looking outside the house. So I just want to give balanced and fair coverage. Oh, okay. So it is I don't know what the provenance of the name is. If you want, I can do some checking on that. Let me see. Let me pull it up. So Proudfoot name origin. All right, let me grab this so you guys can see it. Let me take this down. I'll pop that up in a second. But let me look for you guys. This is why I like doing live streams with you. It's so interactive. Okay, so here's the provenance of the name, the family crest, and the coat of arms. So it is a surname which was first found in London, where Gilbert Proudfoot was a sheriff of London in 1140. And it's interesting to find out that the first bearer of the surname was a sheriff, thus the person who would be justified in walking with a proud step. Other records include, family records include Gilbert Proudfoot, Prudfoot, and Proutfoot. So they show different spellings: Proudfoot, Proudfont, Proudfoot. So I'm not saying it's not a Native American name. It could be, but it's also got roots in the UK as well. So this is the Proudfoot family. They moved into Ireland, and then they moved into the United States. So some of the first settlers of this family name were Matthew Proudfoot and John Proudfoot, who both Matthew settled in New England in 1750, and John Proudfoot settled in Virginia in 1774. And then we have some other Proudfoots that arrived, and these were Richard Proudfoot, who arrived in Pennsylvania in 1808, James Proudfoot, who landed in New York in 1832, and Lawrence Proudfoot. So you guys get the idea. So it may be, and then they migrated into Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. So that was my understanding as well. But it could also be a Native American name. I'm not saying it's not. I just wanted to check that for you guys since you asked me about it. Let me know if there's anything you want me to check. I'll glad if I can find it for you, I will do it for you. Justice for All says, common sense would say a garbage truck is much larger than the silhouette vehicle. Yeah, I agree. Come on, law enforcement. I agree. That is not a trash truck, and those lights are not trash truck. This is not a garbage truck right here. And you don't have to take, that's not a trash truck, but what they're saying is the lights that are in the background are the trash truck. That is not a trash truck. That's too small, because you can see this truck here. The truck just that's a little bit in front of it, so you can kind of get the size of the vehicle. So yeah. Summer says, does anyone know if Chris or Katie are on the government watch list? No, not that I've heard. If I don't know why they would be on a watch list, but Honeysuckle Drive was part of the trash truck route. Right. And then that's why I wanted to show you the map of where the trash truck would have to be for those lights to be a trash truck. And also the neighbor, Bobby is telling us that her neighbor said the trash truck came by 2.5 hours later. Lisa said this case keeps becoming more confusing. It's just a train wreck. Arlene said the vehicle lights blinked and then they ran to the vehicle. I saw the vehicle light blink. I saw the flashlight moving toward it. Power packs. The flashlights don't move on a straight line. No. That's why I think the one is stationary and is a house light, but I think the other one is a moving flashlight. Now, Nick Bears, he had a different take on it. He thought both of them were flashlights. He thinks one flashlight was somebody waiting and the other flashlight was somebody moving. So did somebody lure Sebastian out of the house? And is this car that's parked outside, is this just random and just happened to happen the same night? Or is this all related to Sebastian's disappearance? Terry says, why would we believe anything that Chris or Katie Prophet say? They can't keep their stories straight. And Jess says, I'm sorry, crimes have consequences. YouTube doesn't like all caps. Stormcat said, it's too bad YouTubers spend so much time on one presumed. Well, I mean, this is the case that I'm covering right now. But, I guess my question would be, if you don't want to talk about the case, why are you here? You don't have, nobody's like forcing you to be here and be in the chat section. If you just want to say you're better than everybody else because we are trying to figure out what happened and you're above all of that, then, that's fine. But I don't know. Patty Cake says, we're spending so much time on Sebastian because we know who did it. In my opinion, someone needs to be held accountable. Marlene says, I feel like the scent at the dump may have been where Sebastian's bedroom articles were thrown in the trash, had its scent. Mike said, how do you see two taillights? There's only one visible from the side view. There's two lights in this image. Let me show you. There's the arrow pointing to it. Okay. And then look, you'll see there's a light on either side and one on your right side, the higher of the two taillights, that has two little red dots, which is why I think it might be a sport utility vehicle or a minivan, but I can't say for sure. So great question, Mike. Thank you for that. Where Summer says, I mean, if someone's under investigation, they would be likely be on a watch list. I don't know. Hey, Jody. Cindy says they have cameras at St. Jude. Right. So to me, verifying where Chris Proudfoot is, I do think that Chloe did do her due diligence. I mean, it would be so simple to simply, and also those big, that's why I wanted to show you where he worked. Those big cranes, they have a sensor. Let me pull that up too. A little bit of information on the crane, being a crane operator. So crane sensor on the seat. Okay, let me share this with you. These are all good questions. Take this down for a second. Make sure I can share this. Yep. Okay. Let me grab this. Okay, so this is some information on the cranes. So I'm wondering if the picture that I showed you earlier, which has all those big ones, but I just think that they're so big. I think they would have noticed if he wasn't there operating his crane, you guys. But from my understanding, there are sensors. He would probably have to. I do feel like it would be very easy for his boss to know whether he was at work or not there. Maybe not as good as Seth's alibi. Seth was on camera. His car was in the parking garage and he was on camera Let me pull this up too. Show you this. My computer's thinking. It doesn't like that one. Let's try another one. Okay. Hold on. So there were bones found, and the Shelby County Medical Examiner are investigating that a bone was found. It was a bone found at the St. Jude's. So this is where Chris Proudfoot works. And but the reason I think that it might be something, but it might not be anything, is because this used to be a former cemetery way back when. So a historical marker in the parks lists the cemetery's name as the Winchester New Burying Grounds. It was established in 1827. So I guess it just depends on how old this bone is, if it's anything or not. So I did want to give you guys all the information on that. Let me grab this. Okay. So these are all really good questions, you guys. Really good questions. Let me put our man up there. There. Okay. Marmy says, I hope you get back with the news about the bones found. And where's Bobby says, where's Summer says, well, if Bobby's not trustworthy, then neither is Chris. Because he was not there and he doesn't know what went on, but he's the one telling us of what happened that night. And I do think Bobby's trustworthy. I do. I don't think she would have come on to tell us all that. 572 here and only 295 likes. Yeah, come on, guys, help me out. But subscribing helps too. Sydney says, if Chris was at work at 5:15, then how is he at home an hour later? I don't think he was back. My understanding is he got back closer to a little bit later than that. Janine agrees with you. Oh, Sharon's here. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I didn't until I was watching back the live stream. I didn't realize I had even done that, or I would have just apologized to you on the spot. But that was not related to you. I just was talking about something else that I was seeing, and your comment happened to be up. But I just did want to apologize. So I'm glad you're here. Please consider subscribing. Sharon says she's not triggered by anything. I'm glad, because I was really upset when I saw that, and I was like, oh man. I hope she comes to the next live stream. If not, I'm just made a note to myself to apologize for that. So where are they now? CalGal says February 26, 2016. So that date I think is interesting, right? Because we wondered if there was some kind of significance on the February 26th date, which is the date that we see this flashlight video, right? Because that's in the pitch black at night. My understanding is that the flashlight video was taken around 2.5 hours before the trash truck came. This is according to neighbor Bobby. So around 3:34 a.m. in the morning. And so Katie filed for divorce from Seth on February 26th, 8 years before, and then Sebastian disappears 8 years after that. So Calgal thinks these dates are significant to the situation. I always do think that there are significance in the true crime community with dates. I told you that the 13th of the month, which is when the Watts crimes occurred, when the on February 13th for the Delphi case of Libby and Abby was the 13th of the month. On November 13th for the Idaho 4 students. So I do think dates are significant. So I'm just wondering if there was this significance to someone about this date. And just says you seem very spiritual, Sharon. Cindy said there is a pipe that strains separately to the retention pond. All right, let me see if I can see that. Let me pull that up. Let me grab it. Let's see if we can. Let's look at this. This is why I love going live with you guys. Let me take this down. Let me pull this up. Let's see what you're talking about. Okay, so there's a pipe that drains separately. Let me just make sure I have there's a pipe that jumps separately into the retention pond. Let's see if we can see that on the map. So, okay, let me back up. So there's a pipe that drains separately into the retention pond. Is it above ground or underground? Do you know? Because I don't see any pipes. Let me see if I can see anything. It could be underground. Could be underground, but definitely was worth looking for if we could see a drive. I'm just wondering, because she said that the car, which was parked right here, then turned around. So to me, it would have either pulled it here and turned around in this little cul-de-sac and gone back out, or it could have just backed up here and turned around and just gone straight down Kellen. And this may be what the dogs were following. And I don't know. Or did somebody take something over to the retention pond that, or was that from maybe another day? But I do think it's really interesting. It would be so easy to just turn around right here or just do a little park here and then just back up and go. But you see how quick you could, if you were pulling in here, you could just back up here and be out right onto the Long Hollow Pike. And you could just see it's all wooded here. All wooded up in here too. So I don't know. Very interesting, you guys. Rogers case. All right. Okay, let me check in with chat. So anyway, great questions. You guys have great questions. As she said, somebody asked if Chris Proudfoot, I don't know who MD is, Katie Proudfoot are on the government watch list. I don't think so. I don't think they're on any watch list. They haven't been charged with anything. So I just want to urge caution there. They have not been charged with anything. I do think there's red flags. I agree with Peter Hyatt, but that flashlight could also have been Sebastian leaving, right? I mean, he didn't just evaporate from inside the house, so he had to have left. So I guess, Peter Hyatt felt like maybe there was some, guilty knowledge in relation to Chris and Katie Proudfoot. So I'm not sure, what that would be. Maybe he went out the back door and, she was locked it behind him to teach him a lesson or something like that. It's weird that he didn't have shoes on. I just think that if he was going to run away, he would have put on his shoes. But maybe he went out the back door and it's something, where he did leave on his own and somebody was waiting there, because we know that he did have some internet access. I showed you where he took an online class for internet. So anyway, let me know what you think about all of this. First Summer said, if Chris had multiple CBS cases open on him, why on God's green earth is faith allowed? I don't know. Because we haven't seen what they are or what the findings were. Mike says, I can't accept flashlights anywhere in the videos. Fair enough. I'm just going to bring you guys all the information. I'm not here to tell you guys what to think or anything like that. Sharon says, if you go back to the beginning and only listen to when the parents are speaking on the news or podcast panels, it's very telling. I do want to say thank you to our mod, Six Sense Amelia, and everybody with a wrench that's in here working. And Njaz, thank you so much for all your great work. Please make sure to say thank you to the mods, and thank you to all our channel members too. Subscribe, it's free. Yeah, it's free, and you might win something for the giveaway too. I'm rewatching this. I wish I could give it 2 thumbs up. Oh, you're so nice. Susan says these houses all have nice driveways. If it was an Uber, it would have pulled into a driveway or parked in front of a house, not randomly parking on the side. Oh, that's a great point. Oh, wow. That is a really good point. Man. Yeah, why would it be randomly parking on the side of the street? Why would it be randomly parking? Let me zoom in. Right here. When you've got driveways. If you were just an Uber, you would probably pull up to this house either here or here. But why randomly park right here? I guess it's right around in here. It is kind of random where you're parking. So yeah, I think that's an excellent point. Well, guys, I do have to do the Riley Strain video next. I'm going to log out and go log into the Riley Strain one. So if you want to join me there, I hope you guys will. I do want to tell you, thank you so much for joining me today. I want to thank Autism GMA ×3, our VIP red carpet. I want to thank our producers, George Brown, Njaz, Angry Mons, Not So Saintly, Debbie Joe, and Jane J, and to our channel members who allow me to do videos like this. And for your super chat, thank you so much for that as well, because you guys do allow me to cover cases like this, because these tend to get demonetized. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. So it does allow me to be able to cover these cases. So I do thank you for that. And thank you so much for your super thanks, and also for your gifted channel memberships. I do want to just make sure that you guys know how much I appreciate every single one of you. All right, so I think I'm going to leave it there, because we're going to do Riley Strain next. If you guys want to just follow me right over, I'm going to close this out and I'm going to head over there right now.